So this is going to be an overview of my course, Computer Science Principles. This course is primarily going to cover these 7 big ideas that are listed on the screen right now. 4 of these big ideas are what I call overarching big ideas. Now these overarching big ideas are the big idea number 1, which is creativity, big idea number 2, abstraction, number 4, which is algorithms, and 7, which is global impact. Now, what I mean by overarching is that these big ideas are going to basically encapsulate the entire course. Every single unit, every single lesson that we're going to be going over is going to involve these 4 big ideas. These ideas are basically how I want you to frame the course, or how, like the lens that I want you to view this course as. So as we're doing certain activities, I want you to think, how are we using creativity? How are we using abstraction? How are we using algorithms? How are we using global impact? So basically what each of these big ideas are is that first one, creativity. That's, it's as self-explanatory as it gets, but the main thing is that computer science is not really viewed as a creative endeavor by some people, when in actuality it really is. It's really a human endeavor that involves many parts of your brain to actually create and think up of new ideas to solve problems. Big idea number 2, abstraction. Basically, abstraction is when you're only focusing on certain things that are relevant to whatever you're doing and ignoring all the other little details. That's basically what abstraction is. A good example is when you use your phone. When you're using your phone, you might be texting or going on some app or looking something up on the internet, whatever have you. When you are doing that, you're focusing on whatever you're doing relevant at the time, like texting or looking something up on the internet or using an app. Now, you are ignoring how the phone actually works. You're not thinking about all the little ones and zeros that make up all the programs. You're not thinking about all the chips. You're not thinking about the battery. You're not thinking about all these other things. You're just simply abstracting those away to focus on what is relevant in that instance. That's basically what abstraction is. It's when you focus on what's relevant and ignore or abstract away all those other little details. Next, we have algorithms. Algorithms are just simply a set of instructions that a computer follows. So as you are making programs or you're using programs, I want you to actually be thinking about what those procedures or what that process is, which involves those algorithms. Lastly, we have global impact. Obviously, computer science has changed the world around us, and I want you to think about that as we're doing certain activities. The main premise of a certain activity has global impact, even though it might be just something simple, but we can think about like the further implications of that simple thing we're doing and how it impacts the world around us. So those are the 4 overarching big ideas for the class. So make sure you kind of frame and focus the class based on those big ideas. The remaining big ideas are going to basically be the units that we're going to cover in this class. Unit 1 is primarily going to be focused on big idea number 5, which is programming. We are going to be covering 3 different programming languages. In that first unit, it's going to be Scratch, App Inventor, and Python. We're going to be using those languages to make games, apps, and then some kind of data processing program. Unit 2 is going to be all about the internet. Now, besides learning how to make websites, we're also going to learn about the structure of the internet, how it works, as well as cybersecurity. The third unit that we're going to cover involves data and information. So it's going to be all about big data and how we use computers to aggregate, process, and create visualizations for that data. So the fourth unit, which is actually the last unit of the course, is basically going to be just tying up loose ends. We're going to be covering stuff about hardware and how that works in relation to software. We're going to be covering stuff with artificial intelligence. We're going to be covering stuff with modeling as well as simulations. So that's basically the overview for the class Computer Science Principles, or CSP. If you have any questions about anything in this video, let me know.